What is up, Spurs Nation? You're tuning in to another episode of Drive-Thru Spurs Takes with your boy, presented to you by BuckingSpurs.com. So I want to talk a little bit about preseason basketball. What it's all about, what the league, how the league, I feel the league is gauged right now, and where we are compared to everyone else in the league. And look, I just released a podcast yesterday talking about how we should be reacting, like what the mindset should be for our Spurs in this preseason opener where we're gone 0-2 against Florida, right? And then we have a couple of tough games in front of us. We have Houston, we have the Pelicans, who just look freaking crazy good in preseason. But like I said, we never get too high. We never get too low in the preseason. There's no point, okay? These games don't matter. And I think our vets know that. And I think our vets, I don't think they're trying at all in these preseason games. I think they're more about just trying to get their legs under them, trying to get their reps in, take a few shots, maybe try out some new things. Those are our vets. Our young guys are coming out, though, with, like, energy, and they feel like they have something to prove. And where's Luka? Where is Luka? I have no idea. He's our 19th draft pick, and he has played the least amount of minutes out of anyone on our roster. Literally. Even our G League guys, Dalton Holmes, or how you say his name, and Lawson, those guys are getting more minutes. But those are the guys that aren't going to be, those guys won't be around. So I don't know if Pop is just trying to be nice. But Keldon's played at least in the first game, and Quindari's got like a steady 4 or 5 minutes in both games. Keldon played like 20 plus, almost 20 minutes in that first game, which is interesting. And like I got into that last night in my podcast. But as I see the rest of the NBA, I see a league that's like ready to play, like ready to go. Like they're just waiting, for the regular season to start. But like they're coming out with something to prove, and like Chicago looked all right last night. New Orleans has been looking good. Sacramento looked good. Indiana looked good. The Lakers look good. The Clippers aren't, really. The Clippers are kind of like us. They're like, look, we're not gonna use our vets. We're not gonna pull them out of our tool bag yet, because it's not even the regular season. These games don't matter. The last thing we want is for these older guys, or guys that we're gonna rely on for 82 games, to come out and get injured or whatever. I'm concerned about Derek White. I know what I'm saying right now about, never get too high, never too low, but Derek White looks like he's not even there. Like, I don't know where he's at. He's playing, a decent amount of minutes, and I think he's trying to figure out this backup point guard role, and I think we're trying to figure out this backup point guard role for Derek. I mean, I don't know. I'm like, what is his role going to be coming off the bench? Like, to score, to be like a good defender, to run the team, because that's what he did very well with the first group. And I don't think that role suits him coming off the bench. I don't know, because he's not playing with DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, and guys like that. He's playing with the second string guys, and it's a little bit different. Like if he's just trying to be, a guy who runs the offense, it's a little bit different with those set of guys. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we still got another game coming out ahead of us. But I think the most important thing is that we get our legs under us, we get conditioned, and we just keep taking steps forward, right? Like I said, win or lose doesn't matter, as long as we put up a good fight and we show signs of progress. Technically, if you want to look at the box score, we gave up 128 points to Orlando, gave up 107 to Miami. That's because our normal players played most of the game. I say normal players like those G League guys and rookies didn't play a lot, or they did against Orlando. So we're easing everybody into this season, right? I think that's what we're doing here. We're not trying to overload. We're not trying to bring out our guns and let them go crazy just yet. Okay, so that's my take real quick on our preseason. We have a couple more games coming up. Don't worry. A lot of us are panicking. A lot of us, and rightfully so. I understand that a lot of people are worried because we're 0-2, and I'll say, but listen, don't be worried yet. If you're listening to this, don't throw in the towel just yet. The season literally has not begun. Okay, the 82 game grind literally has not begun. I want to see our bench and our young guys play more in these games than I do our vets and our starters, right? I want our starters to get their legs under them, but that's pretty much it. I don't need them to come out and score 20 a game. I don't need LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan to come out and score 20 a game just yet. We don't need that. Let's just let our young guys play. Let's try to figure out our lineups. Let's try to build some type of rhythm to what we're going to be doing, and try to establish our roles, for these guys. I think that's the main goal. And then come game 1 against New York, it's time to switch it up, and it's time to really go to our main guys and really, 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 really start working on what Spurs basketball is going to be for the 2019 season. Because right now we don't have an identity, and that's the biggest piece right now for me with the rest of the league. A lot of these other teams are showing who they are and what type of basketball they want to play, and they're showing their identity. It's showing itself on the court. And with us, we don't have any identity, like no rhyme, no reason to what we're doing. It's just a bunch of guys out there playing, trying to figure it out. And you know what? That's what the preseason's for. So I'm not too worried. But we're going to have to figure this out in the next few games. We have 3 more games, I think. New Orleans, Houston, Memphis. All right, so leading into our first game of the regular season, we have time to figure some things out, get these young guys more play. I want to see Luka. Where is Luka? Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, is he playing that bad in practice where they feel like they can't even play him? I hope that's not the case, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. Like you would think our first round draft pick, our 19th overall draft pick, would play before 2 G League guys, Keldon and Quindary. But no. Trey Lyles hasn't played either. It's another thing. Damari Carroll got some run in. That was interesting. He hit a 3. He played okay defense. I don't see anybody standing out on the defensive end right now. Nobody. Everyone's getting beat. Bryn's getting beat. Damari's getting beat. DeRozan's getting beat. DeJounte does okay. Derek White's getting beat. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's almost nothing to be excited about with these first 2 games, but that's okay. That's okay. Like I said, that's a lot of just getting our legs under us, getting our game legs under us, because there's nothing in practice can prepare you for game-like situations, right? So let's let our young guys play. Let's figure out. Let's play around with lineups. Let's not worry about the box score. Let's not worry about our wins and losses. But it's okay to be analytical and a little bit critical on what we do see. But I'm trying to play both sides of the coin here. There are things that we're doing well. I think Lonnie Walker's playing well. Jakob Poeltl's playing well. I think that DeJounte's coming into his own again. I think he's starting to feel himself, and that's huge when DeJounte can get to that level. But we also need to figure out who we are, what type of basketball we're going to be playing, what type of basketball we're going to be successful at. We want to play more in transition. We need to get defensive stops in order to get into transition, right? So there's that. So don't worry. Preseason 0-2. At the end of the day, preseason doesn't matter. That's why it's just don't worry. Don't worry, Spurs Nation. It's going to be all right. Trust in Pop. I know a lot of us are getting tired because we're not shooting many threes. Like, Miami shot like 38 threes. We shot 14 or 13, something like that. So we didn't shoot a lot. And that's something we're going to have to figure out, man, because Bryn and Marco can't be the only 2 guys shooting threes. Rudy Gay's going to have to shoot a little bit more. Damari Carroll's going to have to be quick on that trigger when he plays. That's where Luka can come in, man. Luka can shoot that 3. I don't know. Derek White, let's give Derek White some time. I think he needs to rest a little bit. He had a long summer. But we have some things to figure out. We got 3 games to go, and we have the next one coming up in a few days. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes Podcast and Spotify or iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast feed. We are there. Make sure you tune in. Okay, thank you for clicking all this stuff down here, the like buttons, leaving comments, all that stuff. I love it. All right, buckingspurs.com. The shop is open if you want some Bucking Spurs gear, some San Antonio themed gear. I'm really trying not to like trademark infringe anything. I'm not using the Spurs logo or Go Spurs Go or anything like that, but there's some cool things I did come up with there. So go ahead and check that out, and appreciate y'all. On to the next one.